What's up guys, John here and welcome back to Johnmunstudios. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use direct offline processing inside of Cubase, so let's get right to it. So if you go to your mixer, if we click this bottom tab here, usually you would go to the insert effects and then insert, let's say, an EQ or a reverb or a compressor. But direct offline processing happens already inside of the audio file. So let's go ahead and check out what I mean. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to export this or render this in place because this is MIDI. We need some audio. And a quick way to get the entire region to pop up right away is by selecting the region and then hitting P on your keyboard. This will automatically select the range of this region. Then I'm going to go up here to edit and then go to where it says render in place with current settings. And then now I have my audio file. So I'm just going to go ahead and blow this up so we can see it really big. And let's hear what this sounds like. Okay, so this is the French horn sample melody that I wrote, and now we're going to go ahead and apply some effects into this. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the range just so you don't get confused here, and I'm going to show you what the direct offline processing does to this. So let's say there is a portion of this audio file that I want, let's say reverb. I want the last two bars to have reverb, but I want the first two bars to stay clean. I don't want any reverb, and I want them to stay dry. So I'm going to go ahead and select my range here, so from bar 3. And then I'm going to go to audio up here, and then I have two ways of doing this. I can either go to the plugins tab here and just select the plugin that I want to use. And this list will show all of the plugins, like if you were inserting an effect in the mixer, it shows all of your plugins in here too. Or you can go and click direct offline processing, which is going to make this window pop up. And here you can insert your plugins. So I like doing it here because then I have a visual of the plugins that I have in here. So if I hit add a plugin or plugin, whichever one, the plus or the plugin button, I'm going to go ahead and just add a reverb here. So I'm just going to go and put the Reverence reverb. This is a stock plugin that comes with Cubase Pro, I believe, only. So this is a reverb, and now I'm just going to go ahead and play the track. You're going to see that from here on, look how the waveform even changed as I processed this. So if I turn it off, look at the waveform, it's nice and big again. And then when I turn it on, it gets flat. So direct offline processing, all it's doing is it's incorporating this effect into the audio. This already goes into your RAM, so this is not actually taking up any CPU power at this point. So let's go ahead and check the sample out now. Right, so we had a little bit of a jump in volume here, and that's okay because we wanted it to have some reverb. So let's say we want to turn this off, and it's very easy. All you do is click this little bypass button, and that's it. It's completely off. You also get this little status meter. If you have the little circle, it means it's processing. Once it's checked, that means it's already inside or applied into the audio file. So let's go ahead and add, let's say, an EQ. So I'm just going to go ahead and type my Pro Q3. And let's go ahead and just use, well, I guess I already had a curve here. So let's go ahead and use this curve. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bypass all of the low end and just kind of leave the higher frequencies in there. And again, the change happens in the audio file here. If I turn it off, you see it goes back to normal. Turn it back on. Now we have a thinner curve. So let's check this out. And as you can see, I have this now high pass in here, and it affected the signal. And again, it's loaded into the RAM, so it's not taking any CPU power. There's advantages and disadvantages of using the direct offline processing. Like, for example, this is what we call destructive editing. So essentially, you're editing on top of the audio sample, which means that this is no longer a clean audio take. this is an affected take, then this is why it's called destructive editing. So again, if you want to bypass any of these plugins, you can just go back into this menu, and you can, of course, by selecting the track, you have to select the audio track, and then you're going to see that these plugins pop up again. You can just deselect it, and then now we have our original sample. So let's take a listen. You can also apply things like fade out, fade in. You could do some gain stuff. You can reverse your audio file. You can resample. You can normalize. You can do all of these things right inside of this window. Now, let's say you want to make some of these processes permanent. You don't want to have to go into the file. You just know that you want to commit to these effects. You can always go to audio and then go to where it says make direct offline processing permanent. So in other words, you're committing to the sound that you've created, and you want to make sure that this is, every time you pull up this audio file, this is the sound that you want, then you would go ahead and do that. So this is a basic introduction to the direct offline processing. If you have any questions, just go ahead and drop your comments down below, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the ring button so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. Also, don't forget to check out the Johnmunstudios store. I have a variety of merch with the official Johnmunstudios logo on it, so go ahead and check it out. As always, don't forget to share with your musician friends. I'll see you guys soon.